McClunky!
Unky!
Where am
I?
You've awoken 20 years later in the apocalypse, Richard. We're here for you, man. Don't worry.
I'm so
What else
tired.
has Ed Spieler's been in?
What else has Ed Spieler spinning? Nothing since Aragon, really, I bet.
Alice in Through the Looking Glass and Downton Abbey.
Yeah, but who did he play in that Alice in
I don't fucking know, man. He was in You. He played Reese.
He was in Picard, dude. Come on.
Apparently, yeah.
I didn't watch that. Was
Aragon
that good?
Was a thing. No.
You didn't like
People
Picard?
hate Picard.
We were talking about
Picard.
Aragon before this. We got on the Aragon topic somehow.
I think Picard's one of those shows that, like, if you're not at least from my own experience, people who are Star Trek fans hate Picard.
Yeah.
But people who aren't Star Trek fans tend to like it.
So I should really get it. I should try to watch that show and see what I think, because I might.
Are they making?
This is pretty good.
Isn't Disney making like an Aragon series or Amazon or something?
Probably making a fucking Aragon series again. They're like, we can milk more fantasy
do it again.
out of this. Let's do it.
Better.
We gotta get that fantasy audience, bro.
I doubt that like they never like begin a topic with we could do it better. I think it's always we could do it with more money.
Yo, like
or for more money.
Did you guys watch the Willow show?
Nope.
No.
No? Okay. I want to know what people thought about that. No. I haven't heard shit from that show.
The only reason I watch half the stuff I watch is just for you guys.
I appreciate it. I love that, honestly.
Other than this show's good.
Because like Willow, like I didn't even really care about the movie that much, and then I heard that they were making a show, and I was like, okay. And then it just kind of fizzled away. Like I don't think that that's going anywhere anymore.
Yeah,
Poor
I am
Willow.
still watching The Last of Us on my own
Willow's
accord, but after this episode, I think I'm done. This episode sucked.
You fucking liar.
You liar, dude. This is amazing.
I love this
This
episode.
is a great episode.
Yeah.
Willow has a 5.6 out of 10 on the show. But that's on IMDb. Then has an 85% on Rotten Tomatoes. So again, like it doesn't matter. Like I don't think these reviews matter.
Reviews are just skewed all over the fucking place. Like that's the thing. IMDb I never look to trust because that's always bullshit.
Yeah, it's owned by Amazon.
There you go. There you go.
It's hard to lean into any reviews nowadays because especially since like hate watching is a thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
So because on the one hand you have like review bombs, which is real. On the other hand, you have the claim of review bombs when it might not be real. And then you also have people hate watching things. So it's kind of like, you can't really trust anything.
And then on the other end of hate watching, you have people that like literally feel the need to like come to like the rescue of a show and
to come like support it.
10s, and it's like, okay, like what are we doing here, people? Like at this point, this rating is skewed. This is bullshit.
Yeah, we're seeing that with like Velma right now, where like I think most people hate it.
It got a second season because people hated it.
Holy
it's wild,
fuck, man!
Wild, it's so stupid.
Yeah, it got a whole second season because it did actually pull in numbers, and that counts. Which is bizarre. I wouldn't be surprised if they cancel it though. But I guess we'll see.
Man, yeah, because like it's kind
of. In other news, we're going to excite for a second season. The Last of Us.
How many more episodes of the show are there left?
3.
Okay.
Because this was episode 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, I mean, well, I can kind of sort of see it because like they did. I was confused immediately when they did the jump ahead to 3 months.
The 3-month time skip honestly pissed me off.
It scared me a little bit. I was like, oh no, like, did we miss things?
I don't know why.
Well, just because it kind of mixed in the settings from like the spring setting or not spring, the autumn-esque setting. I don't know what the fuck it really was when they met Tommy in the game originally, because it was still like greenery, right? Like it was just raining and shit like that. So I imagine it was autumn. But
knowing Alberta, it probably just had a freak snowstorm, and they were like, let's roll with it.
I think for me, I just kind of like. Don't get me wrong. I loved this episode. I just feel like we've been kind of robbed of some of the like of watching Ellie and Joel grow. They took away quite a bit of that, and just I feel like they really rushed the Ellie and Joel actually having a good relationship thing.
Yeah. Like when they were talking with Tommy and all that, or like when he was like trying to get Tommy to take her, and like he was just.
I thought that was going to happen.
Oh yeah,
I think
I would have liked that better.
I thought,
is Tommy going to be the main character from now?
Like I thought that he would take her and fuck up somehow really bad, and it would be like now we have to get Joel back into the show.
And Joel has to go. And I think I would have actually liked that approach better if like we got to spend more time with Tommy. We got to branch away from the game a little bit in a way that I think is positive, and we would have gotten to see Tommy spend time with Ellie and simmer on that like Ellie and Joel are not okay right now moment.
Yeah.
Because I think that moment really needed more time.
Yeah, rather than just going like to the next morning where it's like, okay, like we're ready to go, we're all cool again, like love you.
Yeah. Now they're like besties, you know, like it happened so fast, and I think it kind of took away from like that moment where you feel it in the game, you know?
Yeah. If they had another like episode, I think they could have done that.
Yeah, like it's like that's gonna be my biggest thing with the show is complaining about like why is it 9 episodes and not 10? I think 10 would have been beautiful.
I think I completely agree. Like one extra episode of just Joel and Ellie traveling, I think would have made me feel a lot better about this.
Because then you get also people who are gonna look back on the show and probably look at the episode 3 with Frank and Bill and be like, so that was a whole episode just of these totally irrelevant characters. Yes, it was beautiful.
It was an amazing episode, but like, it does nothing.
It does nothing for the overall thing, really. Like it's just strange, honestly.
Yeah, and like I feel like we should have gotten an episode that, you know, was kind of like what Joel and Ellie were doing while that was happening, you know? Not like during that time. Obviously the time mix up is there. But like I would have liked to have seen Joel and Ellie like approaching Bill's place instead of just like they're there. I don't know. I guess I want more time with them.
If it was like half and half rather than like it being like first act was just the Joel and Ellie stuff and then Bill and Frank took up like the majority of the rest of the episode. I think if they had done a better like sprinkling throughout, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah. Again, I don't want to like take away from the fact that I am so far I've loved every episode of this show.
Yeah. I
think the show is still, I don't want to say it's a 10 out of 10. I'll say it's a 9 out of 10. But it is, I guess what's getting me is that I want more, you know?
Yeah.
It's not that I'm disappointed. It's that I'm craving more of it.
Like what we have is amazing and I just want more of it. Absolutely. I would agree with that.
Yeah, splitting up into 2 seasons instead of doing it all for... And then like they said that like they might split up the second game into multiple seasons, like 2 or 3 even.
Oh my, well that's
I'm
already
like I don't know about that.
Like we wanted more of this game, not that one per se.
And it's so crazy to me that that's like not something that they've considered. The first game is universally praised, and the second game is like split. You know, so why would you want to split the second game into 2 seasons? Like I get it from a timeline perspective, how the second game plays out. It makes sense to have 2 seasons.
Yeah,
but like what we want to focus on is the first game, which is by and large a masterpiece. So I don't know.
It's what's going to get people hooked on this like dynamic, and I guess the dynamic won't really last long into the second one. But like, yeah,
the second season is going to have a whole episode of Abby's sex scene.
Oh God! Did you know that Abby's voice actress is, or not her voice?
Laura
actress,
Bailey.
Her not her voice actress. Her face model is a Twitch streamer.
Really? Huh.
Yeah, and not even like a big one.
That means I could have been in the game.
She's like a mid-range streamer. Like she streams usually to like 200 to 400 people, you know? Huh. And it's like I found this out today and I can't remember her name. I'll send it to you guys later. But it's really weird seeing her on Twitch. It's so strange.
It's Twitch streamer.
It's just her face. Like Abby's body type is not the model's body type, which is like, so bizarre to see.
She was like jacked up, right? Like, and people were
she was super ripped,
complaining like fucking mad about that. And I was like, oh, okay,
cool. Look, you know the complaints go too far; they always do. But I think the general idea was like, it's really difficult to be that jacked in a world like this. Like, it would take an absurd amount of like food and working out to be that ripped. Even Joel wasn't that ripped.
Yeah, I know.
Mettler.
I don't know. I just like. Those kind of things I just like are like those little tiny complaints that
let it go. Who gives a shit? It didn't bother me that much, but I kind of get it. I try to, you know, play devil's advocate with everything. But, you know, like most things in a fandom, that shit went too far and it turned into a bunch of hateful nonsense. But anyway, the point is I like this episode.
My favorite part of this episode, honestly, was the opening with the 2 Native American characters. Like those,
I love those.
That was so good. I would watch an entire show with them.
Yeah, exactly. I want to know what their situation has been this whole time. Like I love them.
I really liked it when like the old guy's talking to the lady and he's like, "Did you tell them the truth?" She kind of shrugs and he's like, "Are you telling me the truth?"
You made them
like
soup.
I like fell in love with those people.
She's so kind. She's just like, yeah, of course I did.
They were so funny to me.
And they were funny, and then at the end they made them also just ominously creepy. They did that like witch thing where like they said something spooky and they were like, got him spooked though, and then they kept laughing. I loved that. Like it was such like a like witches at their cauldron talking to like freaking Macbeth or whatever.
So I didn't watch the trailer. I don't ever watch the trailers. So I was expecting this to be well, I don't want to spoil anything.
No,
I was expecting this to go in a different direction than where it went. I didn't think that they would be finding Tommy this episode.
Yeah, I was worried that we were getting David in this episode. I was worried that they were going to mix David and Tommy's group in a sense, that like Tommy would be running with like these people not fully aware of the fact that they're cannibals or some shit like that. You know what I mean?
Spoilers, man, careful.
Well,
whatever.
You know,
who's even on here? Columbia Brazil.
The game came out 10 years ago. What are we supposed to do?
Sorry, the C word. The C. He's a C. David's a real C word.
He's a cuck. He's a cuck.
It's a fucking community of cuckolds.
So, like, who's the bull in this situation, or like, what's that?
There probably is one out there. Boy. That's the sad part.
They all want to watch. They don't want to do anything though.
What was the town? What's Tommy's village called again?
Oh shit!
I keep wanting to say Jamestown. That's not
it.
It
is
though.
something like no. That's bad.
Jamestown, USA. Is that what?
I don't know. But what I'm getting at though is that they nailed it though. It looks amazing. It looks exactly like the game.
Canmore, Alberta.
Huh.
My
southern brain can't fathom where that is.
Here's the problem for me. Like, I haven't played the game, and I want to replay the game, honestly. When I remember them going to Tommy's place, I remember it being, like, literally in the dam, kind of, isn't it?
It was, I think. Or at least that's where they start.
Okay, yeah, maybe, and then maybe the rest of it is, like, in a town kind of thing. But, like...
They definitely, they find Tommy at the dam, though.
Okay.
And I think they travel with him to the town later.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I when I saw the dam, I was like, what are they doing? Like, where are we going here?
I like the little talk where they're like, oh, it creates energy using the water, and she just looks at him. He's like, don't even start. I don't know.
Don't know. I like
Jackson. Jackson's the town.
Jackson. Okay, yeah, we were on the right track. Yeah.
Jackson, Florida.
I like the like little horror moment that kind of plays out there in a subtle way, I think, because like they cross the first bridge and it's all like, ooh, like this is the bridge, right? But then they get to the dam part and then she's like, yo, like, what if
maybe this is the river?
What if this is what they're talking about? And he pulls out the map and everything, and it gets like, oh shit, like this is probably what it was. I like that moment a lot. Like that, like really felt like you were with them and like, oh shit.
Yeah, I like that too. I didn't buy at all that these were bad guys, though. And this is weird, but like the moment that I realized they weren't bad guys was when they showed the woman that plays Tommy's wife with like her bandana on and everything. When the camera kind of zoomed in on her, I was like, "Oh, these aren't going to be bad guys."
Yeah, that's I think that might be the idea.
Yeah, because she this as weird as it is.
Once they brought out the puppy, I was like, "Oh, these can't be evil."
Well, the puppy I thought might, maybe this is a bad thing. But when I saw the woman, I was like, she looks too clean. She just looks too clean to be evil. She doesn't look like she.
I thought we were
people.
maybe going to see a dog get killed because I know that's a common thing in the games and stuff. So I was very worried that we were going to have to kill this dog.
Like in the casting, Troy Baker is cast as just a guy named James, but I think he might be playing David. It's just like
we'll have to see
red herring.
Next episode, it pretty much has to happen next episode, I think.
So. Next episode will be that, and then the second last episode, that episode after the next, giraffes, guaranteed. There's got to be in that episode.
So let me ask you guys this: does we didn't get a bunny being hit by an arrow, but we did get bunnies in this.
Well,
episode.
No, but that's going to happen.
Count?
That's going to happen next episode.
That's going to happen next episode.
You think
it's
so?
Gotta.
Absolutely, because she's alone out in the woods at the end, right? So like. She's having to fend for herself, and Bunny's dead.
I'm interested to see how they do this, because the environment they're in is different. Like she was at like a train track with like an abandoned train behind her. Like, I don't remember in the game how she gets Joel to like a little cabin.
I think they show that.
I don't think they show it.
Yeah,
they
just
skip.
are like they
she's
implied that
there.
she just dragged him through the snow
There's
to this cabin.
no way.
The train car thing, it might be, maybe they do use that and they set it up like.
That's kind of what I was thinking. Like, I was thinking when I was watching it, if I were Ellie, that's what I would do.
Yeah.
I would try to drag Joel up into that train car.
Like,
that shit could get really warm on the inside. So yeah, it's really good.
We're setting up in here. It's okay.
The only thing that kind of threw me off this episode, and it's not a big deal because we did discover last time that like Joel is a little bit older in this than he is in the original game.
Mm-hmm.
Is I guess Joel's fear of failing kind of threw me off a little bit because that's like he has this fear of like losing Ellie for sure, but like it's him seemingly having like many heart attacks. Like what the fuck is going on there?
Massive anxiety attacks.
I thought it was more of like panic
like
attacks,
panic attacks
like
kind of things.
And I also might have been reading too into it that like he took those pills in the QZ and maybe now he's feeling like withdrawal. Yeah, kind of, because I personally like with the pills that I take, if I don't take them, I don't get crazy effects, but I do get like kind of like these head things where like I have to like do what he did a little bit where it's like holy shit.
When I don't take my meth every day, dude, it's
that's the issue is Joel's just 4 months without his Lexapro and he's it's really messing him up right now.
It's like holy shit, man, I'm like super ADD right now.
I don't think that I disliked it. I just I guess I don't it's taking the Last of Us 2's approach at Joel that I personally never liked. Where he's a lot softer. And I don't mind it when Joel is soft. I just don't think he should be that yet. It's supposed to be a lot more build up before he becomes like this, I guess, father figure, you know?
Yeah.
Not 6 episodes in.
Yeah, there's a certain moment at the end of the show, I won't say that one, but like I almost can't see it happening with this version of Joel. With how like he is.
And I don't want to say it either. We're probably thinking about the same thing, but that moment to me is like when it clicks. And before that moment, Joel's kind of like closed off.
Yeah.
So it just sort of feels like they pushed this forward way too quickly.
We're talking about like the hospital?
A certain part in the hospital is what I'll say.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I needed.
Yeah.
Because like I think that'll be like they're trying to show him as like softening up, but then like when that happens, I think it's just him like snapping again or like going back to his old ways.
But for a moment maybe, but like it's like then he goes full into being better, I'd say.
Yeah. I'm curious to see where they're going to go with it. I don't dislike the changes. I think that the changes are still perfectly fine and serviceable for the story. I just really like badass Joel. Like I just really like it.
The changes are better than Halo.
That's for damn sure.
I didn't even watch that show. I should go back and watch it, honestly, just to be like, wow, this was the thing.
Dude, Halo is, I don't want to go on a tangent about it, but it is extremely disappointing, and not because they bungled the story, but because the prop design on that show is out of this world good.
Yeah, like it looks visually like perfect.
Mm-hmm.
But then like, there's the story.
Seeing Spartans like fist fighting elites is like, this is amazing. This looks great. And the story is just like, this is not even Halo.
And then there's
like B tier sci-fi.
Like the first episode when they're like fighting everything, I'm like, this looks amazing. And then like the last episode, I haven't seen it, I just saw like clips of it, but it looks like a fucking PS2 graphics fight scene.
It's bad. It's real bad. It's like they gave up on it halfway through. Anyway, Last of Us is good though.
Yeah, and then like I think a lot of people have been saying that this is Pedro Pascal's best acting though in that scene where he's talking about being old and just out of it pretty much. Like even though we kind of don't vibe with that and don't want that Joel as much, like I think it was still like
still a fantastic scene as far as like performance goes. Like actually,
not even just Pedro Pascal. The guy that's playing Tommy, the second that he brings up that Ellie was bitten, the acting on Tommy's face at that very moment, like he goes from looking normal to holy shit, I'm fucking terrified. Like in the coolest way.
And like so I've got a brother that I'm very, very close with, and like that interaction where like Joel feels safe to kind of break down in front of Tommy, that's so real.
Yeah.
You know, like
it really like the acting is so good that like I get like it makes me or I guess like I get the idea that like Joel still sees him as a younger brother.
Yeah.
But like he's also still like sees him as a grown up at the same time.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is like I can absolutely buy them as actual brothers.
Yeah,
like it works. There's no like to me. If I didn't know it, I would even assume that they're actually related.
Yeah,
because they just handle it so like to me the standout moment of this episode, which is such a I guess weird one, is when they first get to the town to Jackson and Joel sees Tommy. Like that reaction
that is so real, man.
is that's perfect because that's exactly how I react when I go a long period of time without seeing my brother. When I see him for the first time in years, it's like that, like desperation. Like I'm gonna go hug my brother right now.
And even in these situations, right? Like we can't even know because like this is so much more intense. Like, you can like communicate with him in a easier way than they have, right? Like it's so fucking crazy that they go like he like went the whole fucking country to see him. And like you see him, and you just gotta release that energy, like Tommy.
Yeah, even like the bitterness and anger that he had, the resentment for Tommy cutting him off, was just gone in that moment. You know,
yeah.
And that's something that I didn't even consider until the episode was over. It was like Joel's mad at Tommy, but when he first sees him, it's like, nope, I don't have time to be mad. This is my brother. He's fine. He's alive.
Yeah.
So that was the standout moment of this episode to me. I really like this episode. What'd you guys think about the Raiders in the end of the episode?
I think that you just said your
the baseball boys.
Yeah,
I think that is my least favorite thing in the episode, if I'm being honest.
That's why I brought it up, because I felt the same. Like that felt, I guess, wrong.
That's a pure moment where the game did like the cinematography way better, like fucking
absolutely.
Easily.
When my mom and sister were watching, they were like all shocked that he was stabbed. I'm like, oh, this is way worse than the game. Like he falls from the second story of a hospital onto a spike.
Yeah, like it's fucking goddamn awesome and visceral in that game.
And it felt much more threatening, because there's so many more guys.
Yeah,
and here there's like just four
baseball,
four guys with
nerds.
baseballs. Like what? I mean, I'm I feel like I'm glad that we got to see Joel get hurt because we know what's coming. But
yeah,
I couldn't help but feel like, again, like I want badass Joel. Like I couldn't help but feel like, man, Joel,
we're gonna
get
up. We're gonna get it. Don't worry.
Well, we'll get it. Like
three dudes.
I mean, like, hey, I mean, like when the certain next thing happens, we see badass Joel at one point.
If I don't see Joel beat somebody with a brick, I'm out.
True that.
It's still like three guys is still like a lot. Like he like especially with baseball bats, like
not when you got guns.
Fair enough, but like
it was so strange. Like, you guys have guns, shoot them.
I think it would have been way better just to show that there are people. They showed that there were like that group of people patrolling outside. I think if they had shown that there were like actually dozens of people patrolling like the inside of the fucking university at one point, it would feel a lot more like, oh shit, like
absolutely. Or something that would have helped me too is seeing Ellie shoot somebody.
Yeah,
because it's hard for me to believe that it's been months now. And Joel's been teaching her how to shoot, that she still can't shoot anything. Like when she's like running off the horse and shooting behind her. Still, it's like, God, let her shoot something, you know? Because at this point in the game, she's shooting things.
Next episode, man, she's gonna be shooting shit.
Next episode, I don't want to spoil anything for people, but
she's gonna be shooting a rabbit.
Next episode is gonna be like, I'm trying to be as vague as possible. I'm interested to see how it's going to play out because of what it's named and like how it's going to combine elements of things, if that makes sense to you guys.
Were you guys expecting for Ellie and Joel to take the old man's bow and arrow?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I totally, honestly.
Because like he even puts it down and like the camera focuses on it for a second. Yeah, I thought it was Joel.
Me too, the episode opened and I thought everything we were seeing was actually Joel. And then it was like, oh no, it's this guy. What the fuck?
Mm-hmm. Some old man.
Maybe that was intentional. Maybe I'm sure it was like a misdirection. They wanted us to think it was Joel. They're like, oh, he's got the bow.
Yeah.
They focused the camera on the bow.
Yeah, absolutely.
Shit, dog. Now that you bring this up, next episode, we definitely got to see that. Like, because if this rabbit gets like sniped, it's not going to be the same.
She doesn't have a bow.
Get the same visceral reaction from a streamer.
You just hear like, of this
it's gonna be shot with the rifle because we saw her training with it.
Yeah.
Man,
So
that's a
it's
bummer
gonna be-
now.
Well, like I think the
arrows.
idea is that like I don't know, like in this world, I think bows are just like what's the point?
I don't know,
They're
dude.
stealthy and silent.
Stealth.
I guess.
Okay, I
I think
don't want to jump here, but like I just had this like shoot back into my fucking brain suddenly from this episode, guys. And I don't know anything about medical shit for women, so I'm stupid. What was Ellie given?
That was a Dixie cup.
Okay, what did that do?
It sort of just collects the goo.
you're asking two guys.
Exactly, because like I'm watching this and I'm just like, what the fuck is being implied right now? Like, what am I?
I know what it is.
Oh, no, not Dixie cup, Diva cup. Sorry.
It's a Diva cup. I know what it is. I couldn't begin to tell you how it functions because I don't have to put that in my body.
Man, we should be
how to
taught
use?
those
Let's see.
things.
Here, I
Yeah,
got
let's
this, man. I got this.
Exactly. Teach me.
All right, so you clean your hands, you fold it up like they showed in there.
Yeah.
You stick it inside, and then you wait a while, and it literally just collects all the goo, and you just pour it out.
That's fucking weird, man.
Yeah, women are gross.
Women, you got some weird shit going on down there, man. These are not fun to deal with. I'd way rather have an Audi. Jesus Christ. The cleaning on an innie is ridiculous.
That scene felt weird for me. Like I guess I get it. Yeah, I know why it's there, but it's did we need that?
I'll just so like, wait a minute, what am I missing? What, like, I don't know. Like, for me, yeah, I just was like, I get it. It was like more jarring to me than the mention of it in freaking Turning Red. Let's just say that, like, because it just came out of nowhere in this one. The other one, I was like, yeah, okay, like, I could see it.
The flip side is what came after that. The haircut scene I really liked. That was a good scene. Just the two of them talking and like Ellie being like clearly like pissed, you know, that Joel's being talked about this way. I like that a lot.
Yeah, he's like, oh, he was a raider. I'm like, well, I mean, so was Tommy.
Yeah, or like when they first sit down for dinner and like Ellie's acting like she's like jealous, you know, that somebody else has Joel's attention. I like that. It didn't come. Let me be clear. Like it felt like being jealous that your parents aren't focusing on you. That kind of jealousy. Yeah.
I hated the wife character though, if I'm being honest. Like she always just was like pushing my buttons.
In this or in the game or both?
I actually, if I'm being honest, have very little memory of her in the game at all.
She's a little bit less pushy in the game. She does. She's. I believe the first time they talk about like the fact that Joel and Tommy were raiders. She's the one that brings it up, just like in this. But it's handled a little bit differently because again they meet at the dam and like they're attacked, and there's like a whole fight scene where it's like Joel and Tommy dealing with people attacking them at the dam.
Yeah, so it's like she already can see like that he's being helpful in the fact that he can save them.
Well, she also sees firsthand for the first time that Joel is ruthless. So it's, I guess, I kind of would have liked to have seen that instead of it just being like, oh, I've heard terrible things about Joel. Like in the game, it's presented more like she sees firsthand that what Joel is capable of, and it scares her. But whatevs, I like it anyway.
Whatevs. Dude, I don't want to be that guy that brings this up, but the amount of fucking people, like, I was watching the Chris Stuckman review of the episode, and someone went through and just copy-pasted first comment on every single one, that the wife character in the game is not black, and that they're doing this for wokeness, and I was like...
Oh, who gives a shit?
Man, like, holy fuck, like, that you even care about this, like, wife character in this... Like,
I can't believe that's your first thought.
who gives a fuck, man? Jeez.
It doesn't matter okay, so obviously you guys know how I felt about like how they handled that in the Rings of Power.
Yeah.
In this world, it literally doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. These are actual humans. So
these are actual humans with like where their culture come from and everything.
It literally changes nothing. And aside from that, like Joel's a white dude in the game.
Yeah, like are we not getting mad about that? Like
exactly.
I'm not gonna lie. There are probably many people getting mad about
that. I can't believe he's Chilean. He's not supposed to be that.
I actually like that change, because it actually makes more
good.
sense. It works, especially given that Joel and Tommy are from Texas, like demographically that makes sense.
Yeah.
It just adds a nice vibe. I don't know what it is. Like that might sound bad. To
Why
say
does Ellie's
but-
face look so weird?
I had another thing that we were on something, and then I had a thing I wanted to bring up from it. Son of a bitch,
Dude, I don't want to put out like mean boy energy, but Bella Ramsey do have an interesting face though. Like her face is strange.
It's odd. It's kind of like Anya Taylor-Joy or whatever her name is, where I just look at her, I'm like, is this real?
Like something's different. Like I can't put a finger on it. Like something about her face is weird.
Dude, I swear to God, like these are fake people.
Like her acting is pretty good. There's some moments where I hear her English accent, but yeah. And admittedly, she's grown on me more as the show goes on. The first episode, I was like, I don't know.
Did you guys fuck, what's her name from the second game? Do you think that chick that was watching Ellie
Oh yeah, that's Ellie's girlfriend.
That was, is that like 100% like what that was, or was that just like
No. That's not Dina.
No? Oh, okay.
No,
I don't think so, but looked like her for sure.
I think I didn't watch the trailer. I only like heard a little bit of it. I suspect that it's in the DLC for the first game. You find out a little bit more about Ellie's past, and there's a girl in Ellie's past. I don't know. I didn't watch the trailer though.
I hate this vague bullshit that we have to do, man. Ooh.
Ooh. I didn't watch the trailer though. Was it implied that it was like a future event?
Wait, what are you talking? Trailer for what?
For the next episode.
Oh, I didn't watch that shit either.
Okay.
I'm just.
I only heard
because I was like, I see a chick, and I'm like, that's Dina, or whatever. Like, that's my brain.
No, I don't think Dina's even around yet.
Okay.
I heard a little bit of the trailer for the next episode, just like as the episode ended, and I like couldn't turn off my TV fast enough. And it sounds like there's we might get like a bit of a flashback.
Oh yeah, for sure we're getting flashback
Ellie.
stuff next week, but
Yeah.
no spoilers on that front. But I think I already said something about that in like the first episode.
I think that are you talking about the girl that was at Jackson that Ellie was like, the fuck are you looking at like that?
That chick.
Okay, yeah. Gotcha. Yeah, I think she's too old to be Dina. Dina's like the same age as Ellie. That girl had to have been a couple years older.
Really?
I think I don't know. I might be.
I have
weird.
to go. I have to search for this.
Girls at that age are either like they look like babies or they look like grown-ups.
I don't want to agree with what you're saying because of implications, sure, but
I'm
like,
referring
yeah?
specifically to how like puberty hits girls and boys differently.
yeah, absolutely, sure.
And when you're like in that
like a boy goes from like a squeaky voice little child to like a man in a matter of like a year.
well, like girls go from looking like little girls to looking like grown-ups very quick, and there's like that weird period where you're a teenager where like all the girls are taller than you. Am I making sense?
Yeah,
Or do I sound like a
It's
weirdo?
weird that you're hitting some like weird beats that I'm like, whoa, that actually is super accurate.
It's a true thing. Like girls hit puberty before boys do. So there's like an awkward period around 13 or 14 where girls are just bigger than boys are. Anyway, I don't think it's Dina.
So we should get Richard in on when the apocalypse hits. You're our like puberty teacher for.
Oh my God,
next
there are so many
generation.
things I can do better than that. Please don't make me puberty teacher of the
That's
apocalypse.
what you are, man. Like you already picked
What the
wrong.
fuck?
Puberty
You're the
teacher.
now designated puberty teacher of the apocalypse.
That's the name too. We're not changing it to whatever the hell the proper thing
What
is. It's
the
just puberty
fuck,
teacher.
dude? My brothers in Christ. I'm an
Oh, my
actual
brothers in
hunter.
Christ.
Can I do that?
No.
Can I hunt?
No.
Puberty teacher or nothing.
Puberty
Jesus.
teacher, where you get the
Puberty
where you get the
teacher.
bit.
Or you get the hell out of Beach, North Dakota.
Yo, if
Oh,
anyone
God.
actually is watching this from Beach, North Dakota, know that you're at fucking destination point right now. Holy crap. Okay. I liked. I should really write shit down because like I have things, but I really liked the like teasing that Joel was doing to Tommy about the whole fact that they have communism pretty much in their little town.
Yeah,
That was fun. That was
he's like,
really
no,
fun.
God, no.
No, we're not
And
doing
she's like,
communism.
no, we are. We're
Absolutely,
communists.
this is communism. Thought that was
Yeah.
really funny.
We're communists.
she
This is a
could tot-
commune.
She could totally be her age.
You think so?
I don't fucking know. Bella Ramsey is like 22 or some shit, isn't she? Like, it's all
She's like
vague.
20.
Bullshit, man. She looks like she's 12.
Yep.
Terrible.
Yeah, I also like the communism thing too because it's just like a subtle nod that like guys like Tommy and Joel that were in the military and live in Texas are definitely right-leaning dudes.
Yeah.
They absolutely are. So the communism thing I thought was cute.
But yeah, but then when it's all down on the ground, however they say it, like when it's all out there, like
your politics don't mean shit at the end of the world.
You'll fucking do communism if it works out. Like you don't care.
You got to do what you got to do.
I'll shovel shit
Like,
just for some food.
In every apocalypse like movie or show I've seen, like Walking Dead and all that, communism always wins. You know,
That's what we default to.
Got to. I really like the little stuff too, like Tommy talking about Joel about his gun and just like how fond he was of his gun. I like that stuff. That's like, I don't know, like that felt like a real conversation to me where it's just two brothers talking about like, hey dude, remember that thing? Still got it. You know?
Yeah.
That was a cool scene.
And then I liked that Tommy like said he could hit a fucking an infected from like half a mile away, and then Joel was like,
Joel calls him out on it.
That shit, you jackass.
That's bullshit. That's totally what I do to my little sister.
We both know that's bullshit.
She ever makes like bold claims like that, I'm like, bullshit.
Yeah. I wish we had more time with Tommy and Joel too, because we do get more of that in the game as well. And obviously The Last of Us 2, we get a lot more of that. But even in the first game, there's more time spent with Tommy and Joel catching up, and it felt so quick. It's like they see each other, they're happy to see each other. Now they're mad at each other. Now they're having a heartfelt conversation, and now they're leaving.
Hey, I'm having a baby, bitch. It's like, oh, really? Like, why do you guys think that Joel is mad about that?
I don't think he's mad about the fact that Tommy is having a kid. I think he's mad that Tommy is not coming with him. And I think that, like, I don't think there's like an inherent anger from Tommy having a child. I think he's just disappointed in what Tommy's become, and maybe because it's something he can't become.
Yeah, okay. Because like
at least that's kind of the impression
like,
I got.
Like vibe, I had like a couple different things, right? Where it's like maybe he's like mad that like he's being dumb and having a kid in the first place in this kind of shitty world. Secondly, anything that reminds him of Sarah. In that sense, right, where it's like, oh, you think you can be a good dad? Like, are you saying that I failed as being a dad? Kind of like that kind of thing. Like, I don't know, like little things like that, like, are what I kind of picked up on. But I think what you're saying is probably more accurate, honestly.
It's probably a mixture. I mean, it's. I think it's maybe one of those things that's just hard to pin down. You know?
Yeah, he's a complicated guy, and there's a lot going through his brain.
There's a lot of feelings there. There's a lot happening, and a lot has happened between Tommy and Joel, and it's especially important too because like Sarah was important to Tommy as well.
Yeah.
So it's obviously it means something to Tommy because he's got the little memorial for her.
He says something in the scene where he like announces the daughter or not daughter thing, the kid thing, that like just because the world ended for Joel doesn't mean it had to end for Tommy, I think, or something like that. He said something along those lines, and I was like, yeah, like that's kind of where it comes up with the Sarah thing for me, where it's like that's what I think Joel's whole 20-year deal in the apocalypse has kind of been like based around, is that like negative space that he's felt in himself because of Sarah's death, and trying to fill it with just being terrible.
I really liked the his line about how he has these nightmares and he can't remember what they are, but he feels like he wakes up and he's lost something. That boy, I teared up. I was like, I was crying in my room.
It was good shit, man. I've seen people comparing this episode to the episode with Oberyn and Tyrion, where he like gives Tyrion the speech in the dungeon. Like that was fucking Pedro Pascal at his like peak.
Yeah, and then Joel fights a bloater.
And then he gets it down. He kills it. He like gets it down, and then
starts monologuing for some bullshit reason.
Gets tripped up by the bloater, and then his fucking head, man. That was so unfortunate.
Did you guys know the bloater was 100% practical?
Yes. Oh my god, that's so cool.
That's bullshit. Like, I can agree. I believe it that there was a physical bloater, but like what we see, I don't know. Like that bitch has been touched.
Well, yeah, it's probably had like a pass over in CG, but you can see the behind the scenes stuff. The guy that played it is like a 6'5" bodybuilder.
Like that's exactly what I want from shows and movies. It's like having practical effects.
Yeah.
Just touch it up with like CG.
The guy that they had play it was not only 6'5" and ripped because they wanted him to be big, but also because he was wearing like 200 pounds of prosthetics.
Yeah.
It's insane.
I would imagine that'd be pretty brutal.
Be super
I just kind of
heavy.
want to see like what that physically looked like on camera. You know what I mean? Like without any touch-ups. Like I just want to see what that would have been.
Yeah, for sure.
That's
You
when
can
get
see
me,
a little
like,
bit of it.
singing.
You can see a little bit of it in the behind the scenes stuff where they have him like they're putting the stuff on him. I kind of think it would have looked.
Look that up.
I almost wish that they didn't touch it up with CG because like it looked CG to me. Like I didn't know it was practical until I saw it
that's what I'm
afterwards.
saying. Like I don't like when that effect kind of goes over. That's what happened to The Thing 2011. Like they had a bunch of practicals, and then the studio was like, no, they're not gonna like this practical effect stuff, man. They're gonna want CG. And now that movie looks like shit.
Yeah, I think that the face is CG, or at least like the animations on the face. I think that that's all CG, and I think maybe it's just because the way that our brains are wired, we look at the face, so we probably see CG face and.
Oh my god, it looks so cool, this costume.
Doesn't it? Like when you see it,
Shit.
like with good lighting and like knowing it's practical, it looks so much better.
Oh my god, dude, I want that.
I have a question for you guys, like about the apocalypse.
Because I couldn't move, but yeah, hit me with your question.
Granted, like if you guys like survive like long enough for like colonies to start popping up, what kind of role do you think you would take?
Puberty teacher of the apocalypse.
Damn straight.
Because like I thought about this and like I think it'd be fun to be like a trader going between the colonies and like just like trading all my everything for like other colonies.
If I were to go by like what I can do in real life, I've hunted in real life, so I would probably still be doing that.
Yeah.
I have no useful skills, so kill me, please.
A waste of time. Get him out of here.
I will not be able to help anybody, so just get me out of that colony. I'll join the infected guys. I'll be like, yeah, you guys need another? I can do this. I can just walk around aimlessly.
I've got enough life skills that I could probably be of at least a little bit of use. I used to work as a carpenter, and I've gone hunting, so like I have enough that I think I could at least be kind of like the old guy in the cabin in the beginning. I could at least be self-sufficient.
I wish.
Like that Country Boy Will Survive song. It's basically about me.
Country Boy Will Survive? I've never heard that. Is that
I will survive.
Nope, that's not it. Nope. You guys are hurting my feelings right now.
I mean, I don't listen to country. I'm sorry. The only country song I really...
Hank Williams Jr.
Hold on. I might have listened to it. I just don't know the name.
Also, now, quick question. Quick trivia game for you guys. What movie were they playing in the theater?
I don't even remember.
Never heard of the song. Never.
You guys are a little bit too far north of the Mason-Dixon line to have been listening to Hank Williams Jr.
Oh, Alberta likes their country songs, but...
what movie were they playing?
Fish from dusk till dawn.
I will tell you after I looked it up, because I thought you guys would have known.
I honestly don't even
watching
remember.
In the cinema was The Goodbye Girl, a 1977 movie. I knew it was Richard Dreyfuss. That was the fucking only thing I knew, so I wanted to guess that it was Jaws, but I don't know. Apparently, The Goodbye Girl is a great movie to watch in the apocalypse.
I didn't even notice it. I was too busy just like looking at the sets. And
what do you think would be like the
this
scariest like movie to watch in the apocalypse?
What is there any like any zombie movie really with infections?
Yeah, like in this world, 28 Days Later.
Like, I don't want to deal with that. Like that guy had blood coming out of his eyes.
Yeah, can you imagine if it were like this?
Well, like, would it be scary if like you've dealt with that kind of horror every single day?
Dude, 28 Days Later is like the one zombie
point.
survival or zombie apocalypse movie that I'm like, I wouldn't survive this.
Yeah, no, like
there's certain stuff out there where I'm like, I'm dying immediately if I ever am in this.
If I'm in World War Z zombies, dude, I'm done.
Like I'm
absolutely
killing myself if it's World War Z zombies.
Like, they're climbing up walls by running into each other. Like, no.
Yeah, anytime zombies are running, dude, I'm pretty sure I'm screwed.
Yeah.
Like, look, I got a lot of like survival skills, but my cardio is like level 1.
Yeah, like they're running without any need to not be, or like they're not getting exerted. So like
Exactly, dude.
just
I'm gonna. I smoked cigarettes for 15 years. I'm gonna pass out. Like I'm dead.
Fuck this, man. I don't think we've even talked about also like the big pivotal scene. I think in the episode, like the big emotional scene. I think we touched on it a little bit, but like, what did you guys think comparing the argument between Joel and Ellie between like the show and the game? Like, how do you think that was handled?
It felt good. It was. I mean, they did it right. I don't think it should have happened yet.
Like for me, the pinnacle part of that argument is the whole like I'm not. You're right.
You sure as hell ain't my daughter.
Like I'm not your dad, and you sure as hell ain't my daughter, right? But like him getting to that line felt all kind of rushed. I will agree. Like I think that there was just like not enough there.
Well, I don't even think that the argument itself was necessarily bad. More of like
I would say bad. Yeah,
they got over it too quickly. Like that should have been like they're gonna stew on this for a couple of days. I don't know. I liked it though. I still liked it. Even my biggest nitpicks of this are still
just like
fine.
Little things.
Yeah, it's just things that I wish that they would have done a little bit differently.
I also like a little bit of a callback to last episode. I think is when Ellie was like, "Yo, like you could lie to me, and like I'd believe you." So when she's asking him about like what was a contractor, and he's like, "Contractors were like loved by everybody." It was like
they're really cool.
She's like, "Oh, okay, awesome." His smile there is so wholesome, dude. I loved that. But yeah, like I will agree that we get to that a little bit too quickly right after what we had just seen. Like it's
like
weird.
Instantly. Because what felt weird to me is like
it's to Jim Croce, where he said
Joel's like, all right, I'll take you, and then she shoves the backpack into his chest, and I'm thinking like, oh, they're gonna be mad at each other for a couple of days. But then nope, they're cracking jokes in the back of a horse, and it's like, oh, you guys are like closer than ever immediately. And I would have liked to have seen at least finish this episode with them being pissed at each other.
Yeah, at least have the balls to end on like that kind of like tension.
I think it would have been more impactful when Joel gets hurt. If it's like, oh shit, Joel might be dying and he thinks that I hate him, like that. I don't know. I'm not a fucking video game writer, so who the hell knows?
Oh my God. And also then, because like, I wonder how many people like, who haven't played the games are actually thinking right now that Joel's dying, first of all.
My family, my mom and sister.
Your mom and sister, yeah. So it's effective for people. Like they think that he might be outie.
For sure.
I haven't told them anything. I refuse to tell them. They were like strangling me. Well, not like actually, but they were like grab my shirt and be like, "Stop!"
My dad was snoring like a fucking train while watching this episode at the end. So I like literally turned to my mom when Joel was stabbed, and I was like, "That was so much better in the game." Like I'm that kind of guy.
Well, we talked about this before, but I think that like I wish that I could be watching this without having played the game.
Yeah.
Because then I think I would have zero nitpicks if that were the case. I think this is like a straight up 10 out of 10 show.
I'd still probably have my like little things like I brought up in the last episode where they keep on that street for like just the premise of it being a set for the show. But like that's just little shit. Like at the end of the day, that's just like like it's just like, well, what are we doing here, people?
Yeah.
Oh fuck, there was something else, goddamn. Oh yeah. And then they do what I love, and they did it in a even better way. They fucking ended this episode with a song, and not only that, a callback to the first episode's end song, but done in a cover of like super sad and solemn.
I did not pick up on that.
You didn't get that? That was the Don't Never Let Me Down, whatever the fucking song is called by Depeche Mode, but just a cover of that. And
that's really cool.
That fucking hit me so hard, man. I love that shit. Because I think they did that, and they do that in Game of Thrones all the time with their end songs, where like it'll be hinting either towards something, or it'll just be like something crazy that like it has been linked to something earlier.
I do want to. This is me nitpicking again, but I think I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure if you get stabbed, you're not supposed to pull it out.
No, he like when he pulled it out, I'm like, oh no, it's gonna bleed out.
I feel like Joel would know this.
Yeah, that exact. No, like you're totally right. Like that was an nitpick for me too. When But like he's holding it, I'm like he's gonna pull it out. It's
Like, why would you rip this out, dude? You have nothing to bandage yourself with here. So, minor nitpick.
I had like a really trippy dream last night where I watched The Last of Us again, and it was just very different. Where every time like that Joel would like shoot his gun, above like the gun, it would be like a little HUD thing where it would show you like 13 out of 20 or whatever. And I was like, whoa, like what a fucking different experience for the show. Like it was really weird. Like you like actively saw their resources while they were going. This is how much bread they have left.
I did like when Joel was talking to Tommy, how he was like, he talks about the kid that he killed when they were in Kansas City, and he's like, 15 years ago I would have destroyed this fucking kid. And I'm like, all right, there's a hint of the Joel that I want right there. Like he obviously seemed also like he was a little upset that he had to kill a 14-year-old boy, but it's still like in my prime I would have busted this kid up, but now I'm old and slow.
Yeah, all of the Tommy and Joel interactions were really good. I liked when even because Tommy is, I've been seeing him more of like the gooder version, right? Where it's like he's noticing like we could have done things differently. We didn't have to do them the way we did them. He says to at one point.
Yeah, he's that in the game too. He's like an idealistic version of Joel.
Yeah, I really want to I might play this shit on stream, honestly. Like just go through the
going
game
through
again.
The Last of Us. I actually liked Joel or Tommy as a character in both games better than Joel, because like Tommy is Joel's an awesome character. Don't get me wrong, but like Tommy is like an uncorrupted Joel.
Yeah,
I like Tommy. Tommy's
a good soul.
That's why, like we said earlier, I really wish that we had more with him. Like if he even took them to a certain point on the road and was like, all right, like this is as far as I'll go. I think you guys got it from here. I'll see you.
And I feel like Tommy, at least game Tommy, that's in character for him. That's something he would have done. In the games, in both games, Tommy has to be talked out of going anywhere with Joel. Like he wants to go anywhere Joel goes. So I would have liked to have seen Tommy at least like take them a couple miles out of town, instead of just, all right, dude, see you when I see you.
See you at the gate. Bye.
Like it's a point of conflict for Tommy and his wife, that Tommy, like his wife is concerned that Tommy's going to get like sucked back into, doing things with Joel's way. And she's trying to convince Tommy that he needs to do things his way and not stay in the shadow of his older brother.
Well, keep doing things the way that they're doing in like this like community, right? Because if Joel was there, it would probably become way more of like a, and maybe not like a intent. He shows up in the game and it becomes fine, whatever. It's not crazy, but like, like
right. Well, that's why like
it's
Joel in
like
The Last of Us 2 is slightly different. He has softened up because now he's living Tommy's way. So I still can't get past this feeling that like they just made Joel a slightly different character, and I don't know if I like it, but overall the series is still amazing to me.
Yeah, like I'm still elated that this show is as good as it is. Like
for sure.
For a video game show, damn.
It's not as good as Uwe Boll's Blood Rain movie.
Oh yeah, of
Shut
course.
the fuck up.
I do
Don't
think
you
that
mention his name.
as far as video game adaptations go, it's at least the fourth best. The first is the Mortal Kombat movie. And I'm dead serious.
I know you say that, and I agree, kind of, but like also no.
The first Mortal Kombat movie is, and I will maintain this until the day that I die, the best video game adaptation ever made. It is perfect. But I grew up in a different era than you guys.
I love that movie though, Richard. I mean, like, I own it on Blu-ray. I even own fucking Mortal Kombat Annihilation on Blu-ray. So I mean, like, I'm crazy. But like,
Annihilation is nuts. But Mortal Kombat the movie, like, I saw that in theaters when I was a kid, and I had Mortal Kombat on Genesis, and it's like, it's perfect. it's like, look, it's from a different era of gaming, So there's not like a big cool story for this. It's just Mortal Kombat the movie feels like you're watching a video game. Whereas, The Last of Us is a fantastic television show, but The Last of Us video game feels like you're playing a television show.
Can I raise you that I think that Street Fighter might be better.
Street Fighter is damn good.
Because that, I mean, it's not really representative of the game for sure, I guess. But
no, not even a little bit.
But just the way that it is, it's just I almost sit down. I have those movies on Blu-ray both, and I have to sit down sometimes and be like, which one would I rather watch?
My favorite quote from any movie ever came from that movie, and it's not the Bison. Today it was a Tuesday quote.
Then what is it? Then what?
That's an amazing quote. My favorite quote from any movie ever is from the Street Fighter movie where Zangief is watching on a security camera.
Oh no.
Missiles being fired. And he goes, "Quick, change the channel!"
And everyone slow turns to him really? It's so good, dude.
I will remember that until the day that I die, because I didn't when I was a kid and I saw that, I thought it was just the funniest damn thing I'd ever seen.
I love when Zangief says, "You are getting paid."
That movie is just unironically really damn good, even if it has almost nothing to do with Street Fighter.
Bison in his, he's like, why would you pick fucking Jean-Claude Van Damme to be the American guy? What are you thinking?
90s Kickman. That's what they were thinking.
American. Can't you tell by my thick American accent?
Look, man, he does a flash kick in the movie, and that's all we need.
They could have just got him for one scene just to be whoever, and then just whoever else was in the movie, just they put his face on him. You know what I mean?
I just really like that, the Americanized version of Street Fighter. That Guile is not a main character in Street Fighter.
No,
in the games at all. The main character of Street Fighter is Ryu.
You got really shafted in that movie. He has an arc for sure, but
he's barely in it though.
Who the fuck is Ryu?
Actually say that Ken has more of a focus and an arc in that movie.
He does, because he's American.
Well, he's American, yeah.
He got main character.
To be fair, Ryu and Ken are the main characters of Street Fighter. They always have been. But still, Ken does get more of an arc than Ryu. Guile should never get more of an arc than Ryu, though.
Yeah,
that doesn't make any sense.
Fucked.
This is stupid.
Ridiculous.
Guile's not even. He's. I don't even know what they made him in that movie. Was he? I think he was still Air Force. I can't remember.
It's
have a
really
rewatch of frickin'
yeah, right.
That's I said The Last of Us.
I'm gonna have to
rewatch a series.
I'll do a movie night. My Discord for that.
I love that movie. I honestly, if I ever become world dictator, I am going to quote that Tuesday thing. I will go into a village, destroy someone, and know one day.
Bro, I said that to my sister.
Today. It was Tuesday. I love that line.
Finally, when this person comes to me and tries to assassinate me, they're like, "You killed my father," and I'll be like, "Oh yeah, that was the most important day of your life, but to me, it was Tuesday." They're actually, it was Friday, the fucking 14th, you jackass.
I brought that up with my sister about the crank it joke.
Oh my god.
And she's like, I don't remember that at all. I'm like, exactly, because to us, that was a traumatizing experience. To you, that was a fucking Tuesday.
To you, you're crazy every day, so that was nothing.
It's fun, too, because Raul Julia, R.I.P., he only did that movie
for his kids, right?
For his kids, yeah. His kids liked the game, so he was like, fuck it.
10 out of 10, and he gave it his all, honestly. I love him in that movie.
The best part of the movie.
Oh, my God.
Anyway,
yeah, so
The Last of Us was pretty good.
Standards, right? Compare that to The Last of Us. Last of Us is fucking at least 4 times as good. It's at least 4 Street Fighters good.
It's a different kind of entertainment, The Last of Us is real drama, whereas the Street Fighter movie and the Mortal Kombat movie came out in an era where games didn't really have stories, not like that.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, but I think it's more about the public approach to games, right? Because the public opinion on games at that time was that they're just not really anything and they're just for entertainment, right? So you can't really focus on the story and the narrative beats. But now we're at a time where it's we know, at least most people know that games can have a fucking deep story.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's dive into some of that shit.
You just couldn't fit a deep story into a cartridge. So,
and yeah, I think they've done a good job.
And that's all I have to say about that.
Oh, can I not hear you guys?
Hello?
What the fuck just happened?
He's out.
Hello?
Dad?
Okay.
Hello?
We're
Can
back.
you hear us?
We're back. Why the fuck does that happen sometimes at the most inconvenient of times? It's so scary. Because I'll suddenly see that your guys' bars are still moving and I'll be like, oh, I can't hear anything. Anyway,
I
what were you
thought
saying?
me and AJ were just gonna have to like close the podcast and be like, oh well, Sam's lost in the internet
Okay,
now.
bye.
So see ya.
Sorry
His
about
consciousness has been sucked away.
Do you guys have any other thoughts about this episode or anything? Anything going forward because we can't really say anything.
Well, I've said this before. I sometimes like when I really like an episode, I have less to say about it than when I really don't like an episode.
Well, absolutely right, because that's one of those things that I didn't say this to my uppers at work because it would probably get me fired, but like they hear all the complaints at work because more people are gonna send in complaints than they are gonna send in these positive comments. You know what I mean? Like it's way easier to be mad about an experience than it is to come out of it so happy that you actually say something to the uppers. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and something I need to start doing is when I'm watching something and I think I'm going to hate it, I'm taking notes for the podcast. If I like it, it's like I'm distracted from my note taking because I'm like absorbed into it, you know?
Absolutely.
So I need to focus myself on my notes and like, dude, write things down. Write down things you like.
Write that down.
I just start taking notes.
I mostly write down things I don't like.
I just tend to watch the episode while we're going, and if I'm like, oh, I really like that, then I'll bring it up and stuff. But yeah,
I don't trust my ADHD enough to remember things.
Fair. Okay. Well, if that's all that you guys have, we're gonna raid into Ableton Sports today. They're playing.
Sports.
They're playing The Last of Us Part 1. No damage, grounded, permadeath, whole game.
Oh damn.
And what I've been watching from this so far has been fucking insane looking.
It's pro streamer shit.
Yeah, so let's set that one up. We will be back tomorrow to talk about the newest 2 episodes of The Bad Batch.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys watched the one from last night yet, but
Not yet. I'm watching them both tonight.
Tonight? Okay. Honestly, that'll be a better way to watch it.
Oh, it's another one of those like 2-parters.
I don't want to spoil anything, but yeah.
Got it.
It shocked me in that way.
Cool.
Kaz didn't show up this episode, so we're gonna do a little Heidi Kaz for the streamer one. Little Heidi one. Watch him show up right now. If he did that, I'd be so mad.
What do you mean?
What you mean? Kaz,
My name is Kaz.
Whoa.
I'm from London.
Get out of here, Kaz. What the fuck?
Kaz, what the fuck? Get over, man.
Don't show up, man. But as per usual, you can find Richard over on Brutal Richard. You
can find me in my bedroom
at twitch.tv/com. Type that in exactly as I said.
Don't go to my channel.
Twitch.tv/com.
Leave me alone.
.com.
Twitch.tv.com. Don't go to that
channel.
website.
Don't go there like that.
Dick.com.
Hey.
There you go.
All right.
AngryDick.com.
Thank you guys so much for watching. We will see you next time. McClunky.
Machunky.
What?
What?
Don't ever say that again.